Okay, hurry up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Are you still... If you're in the bathroom, get out of the bathroom. I'm not going to wait for you. I'm going to have to do this show, okay? I've been stuck in so long, I can't stand it. I've been stuck inside. How are you? Good. Yes. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so am I. Oh, wait, you know what? Hang on. Actually, Debbie, could you give me that cup of tea? Okay. It's already fallen apart. I'm Bill Harley, and maybe you knew that. You probably did. You're checking it out. Thank you very much. And I'm going to sing a song and tell you a story, and then sing another song, and let you know some of the news from around here. Here we are. It's a sunny day here in Massachusetts. I took a bike ride this morning. That was good. I'm going to start out with a song that I learned in 4th grade. When I was in 4th grade, Mrs. Morgan was my music teacher. And she was what we call an itinerant. And what that meant was we got to push her piano from room to room. She didn't have a music room. She just took her piano into the rooms. And she had these green books. I've actually tried to find this book. This green book, and it was all folk songs from all over the world. And that year in 4th grade, I fell in love with all these songs. There was I just love singing with Marching to Pretoria. We are marching to Pretoria. I didn't know what Pretoria was, or where it was, or why they were marching there, but I loved the song. But I think this was my favorite one. And I actually recorded it a couple of years ago. I'm going to have to put it, but we haven't really released it. It comes from Canada, although people here in the United States sing it too, because we're pretty close, us, the Canadians. This actually comes from a song, maybe from Scotland originally, called Highland Laddie, but this one's called Riding on a Donkey. And I found out, I didn't know any of this when I was a kid. I just like the melody, and I think you will too. Donkey is one of these kind of cranes that lifts the logs and puts them on the boats. So they take the lumber and they were shipping it someplace else. It's got a great chorus. The chorus goes like this. Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, hey ho, away we go, riding on the donkey. Let's try it with me, here we go. Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, hey ho, away we go, riding on the donkey. You know, I don't know why I liked it so much as a kid. I think I just loved the melody and the chord changes, and it's just very singable. Were you ever in Quebec, stowing timber on the deck? Watch out or you'll break your neck, riding on a donkey. Your part, here we go. Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, hey ho, away we go, riding on a donkey. And I didn't know anything about this verse either. Were you ever around the Horn? It's Cape Horn that the ships had to sail all the way around in South America. Were you ever around the Horn, where it's always fine and warm, where there's a lion and a unicorn riding on a donkey? Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, hey ho, away we go, riding on a donkey again. Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, hey ho, away we go, riding on a donkey. Were you ever in Cardiff Bay, where the folks all shout, hooray, here comes Bill with 6 months' pay, riding on a donkey? Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, hey ho, away we go, riding on a donkey. And I wrote this verse after I took my kids on a vacation. Were you ever in Disneyland, where they tell you it's so grand? Take the money from your hand, riding on a donkey. Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, hey ho, away we go, riding on a donkey. And then I wrote this last verse. I went to a dance, a country dance with friends of mine, and I live right outside of Providence. and I was watching everybody dance up and down. I could hardly wait till we can do that all together. So I wrote this verse. Were you ever in Providence watching all the young folks dance? Come on now, take a chance, riding on a donkey. Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, donkey riding. Hey ho, away we go, riding on. One more time. Hey ho, away we go, donkey riding, donkey riding. Hey ho, away we go, riding on a donkey. There you go. Isn't that a great song? It's interesting to me. Like, I was in 4th grade, and that's when I really think I began to, I just love this song. I don't know why. It's fun to sing, I guess. So, let's do some housekeeping, okay? Some birthdays, okay? So, let's see. Actually, both of the people here I happen to know. I've known them for a while. I have known Gus Bravakis his whole life, 4 whole years. He's turning 4 today, and he and older brother Teo are watching up in Montpelier. So, hi, Gus. Happy birthday. I hope you're getting to do what you want. Tell your mom she has to do what you want her to do, just for an hour. And your grandpa, too. And Daniel Block, my nephew, who is turning 26 today. Yesterday. I know it was yesterday because, we actually had a Zoom birthday party for him. Have you done that? Isn't that weird? We're kind of doing that more and more. We're figuring out how better to do it. I guess I should mention, we're trying to figure out a better format for this, although this is working okay, but we're trying to figure out how to put it up on different formats and be a little fancier about it, since this is going to take a while. I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is going to take longer than I thought it was going to take. And maybe I'll say something more about that later, but I've just been thinking we're kind of have to find new ways to be aware of each other, because we really need to help each other, but it's hard because we don't get to see each other as much. But I still think we can find a way to let people know we're there. I'm going to save the good things until after I tell this story, because it's some great good things. If you have a birthday and you want me to announce it, or somebody you know has a birthday and you want me to embarrass them, I'm happy to do that. That's my job. That's why I'm here. So send a note. Go to my webpage and click on the Miniconcert things, and there's a place that you can check in with me, all that stuff, and good things too. Okay, so now, I kind of need my guitar for this story. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Joey and a girl named Chloe, and they were twins. They lived in a house with their father and their mother, and behind their house was a backyard, and behind the backyard was a swamp. Don't forget about the swamp. Are you with me? Give me a sign somehow. Let me know. Now, every day, Joe and Chloe, when they would get home, they would go up in their rooms and they would put on their sneakers and they'd run around in the backyard. They'd run around and they'd play in the mud and the muck and the dust and the dirt, and they'd run around and then those sneakers, they kept wearing them, and they got kind of dirty, but they still kept wearing them, running around in the mud and the muck and the dust and the dirt, and then they wore them more, and they began to wear holes in toes, things like that, or at the edges, and they still wear them, and sometimes they were in such a hurry to go out and play outside, they wouldn't even put their socks on, and they would run around, and their feet would smell, and those socks began to smell, and they didn't have socks. That was a mistake. Okay, they didn't have socks. It was just their feet. Their feet smell, and then, you with me? Their shoes began to stink. They were dirty, they were stinky, they were holy, and they were disgusting. And they would come in the house, and their mother would look at them and go, "Oh, you take those shoes off and leave them out there on the back porch." And they would. But this story takes place in the summer. They'd be sitting at their kitchen table for dinner, and the back door would be open because it was hot, and the only thing between the outside and the inside was a screen door. And the screen door, screens have all these tiny little holes in it. And the smell of the sneakers would rise up in the air, and a breeze would blow through the screen, and the smell of the sneakers would waft across the kitchen and would go underneath the noses of the people who were trying to enjoy their dinner. And they'd go, ugh, whoa, what? Die, ugh. So finally, one day, their mother said, that's enough. I've had it. I've got to get you new sneakers. Get in the car. So Joey and Chloe, they got in the back seat of the car and they put on their seatbelts because this is a safe story. And they drove to the shoe store. And they got to the shoe store and they had never been in a shoe store like this before. They walked in and they couldn't believe how many sneakers there were. There were thousands of pairs of sneakers up on the wall. They just looked up in there and there were thousands of them. And the most expensive pair on that wall was $27 bazillion. And the cheapest pair was $246. But Joey and Chloe, they didn't look at the most expensive ones, the $27 bazillion ones, or the cheapest ones. No, because as soon as they walked in that store, their eyes locked on that same pair of sneakers. They were beautiful. They were bright orange and green and hot pink, and they glowed in the dark. And they had super cantilevered, elevated, double-cushioned, hyperventilated soles with 17 racing stripes running back and forth, sideways, slantwise. It made them look like they were going 89 miles an hour without moving. They had 54-inch shoelaces and straps of Velcro. And they saw those sneakers and they said, Mom, we want those sneakers. And she said, no. She said, Mom, we want them. No. They cost $18,000. Mom, we want them. If we don't get them, we'll die. And she said, I'm sorry to hear that. Mom, if you get us those sneakers, we'll walk the dog. You're supposed to do that. Mom, if you get those sneakers, we'll take out the garbage. You're supposed to do that. Mom, if you buy us those sneakers, we won't whine for a whole week. She said, you got a deal, but listen to me. Don't you get those sneakers dirty. And Joey and Chloe, they looked at their mother, and they said, Mom, we would never do that. And the mother said, yeah, right. Are you with me? So, they bought those sneakers, $18,000 a pair. And the man in the store went in the back room and he brought out the boxes of sneakers and they opened up to make sure that they're right size. And they had orange tissue paper that were cradling the sneakers, and the boxes were almost as cool as the sneakers themselves. And so Joey got a box and Chloe got a box, and they walked out to the car and they climbed into the back seat, cradling those boxes of sneakers, $36,000 worth of sneakers in the back seat of the car. And they got home and they went into their house and they pulled back the orange tissue paper on the boxes. They put their sneakers on and they ran around the house. They were a blur around through the kitchen, the living room, dining room, kitchen, living room, dining room. Mom said, not in the kitchen, not in the kitchen. They ran upstairs, they ran downstairs, down in the basement. They came and said, Mom, can we play outside? And she said, no, those are your church sneakers. Mom, if you don't let us go outside, we'll die. She said, I'm sorry to hear that. Mom, we'll walk the dog. You're supposed to do that. Mom, we'll take out the garbage. You're supposed to do that. Mom, if you let us run with these outside, we won't whine for 2 whole weeks. She said, unbelievable. It's a deal, but listen to me. Don't you get them dirty. And don't go in the swamp with them. And Joey and Chloe said, Mom, we would never do that. And their mother said, yeah, right. Are you with me? Okay. So they ran around out in the backyard with those brand new sneakers. Oh man, they ran in great sweeping circles. You couldn't believe how fast they were going. I mean, they looked like they were going 89 miles an hour without moving. Those sneakers, the bright orange and green and hot pink and glowed in the dark with super cantilevered, elevated, double-cushioned, hyperventilated soles, 17 racing stripes running back and forth, sidewise, slouchwise, made them look like they were 89 miles an hour. They're moving 54 shoelaces, straps of Velcro. They ran and ran around the front yard, around the backyard, up into the tree, down the tree, through the flower bed, not in the flower bed, their mother said. They ran and ran until they came to the back, the very edge of the yard, and they looked out in the swamp. And Chloe said, Joey, Joey looked where Chloe was pointing. And in the swamp, just a little bit of the way in the swamp, not very far, there was a little path that you could get to. They saw the most beautiful flower. This strangely misshapen, strangely colored, oddly appealing flower that seemed to be calling to them. Chloe said, I've never seen a flower like that. Joey said, I haven't either. And Chloe said, let's get it from Mom. And Joey said, we're not supposed to go in there. And Chloe said, it's just a little ways in. She won't know. Let's just pick it for her. Bring it back. And Joey said, okay. And so they decided to go into the swamp. Let me tell you about the swamp, okay? Kids said, there are swamp monsters that live in the swamp. And the parents would say, it's just your imagination. But kids had a reason to say that. See, for instance, they would go to bed at night, and they would climb up into their beds, and it was a summer night, so they'd open up the windows. So, because they didn't have air conditioning. Because there's no air conditioning in this story, so you can just forget about the air conditioning. And as soon as they open up the windows, the swamp is out there, and all these sounds came wafting through the air into the house. And they would sit up in their beds and they'd call, Mom, Dad, listen, you can hear the swamp monster. And the parents would call up, it's just your imagination. Or they'd be playing baseball or something, and I guess that's exactly what they're doing. Maybe it was softball, I don't know, or wiffle ball. But anyway, one of the kids in the backyard would hit the ball, and the other would go, and would land in the swamp. And someone would say, oh man, it's in the swamp. Another kid said, I'll get it. And they'd wade through the swamp and get to where the ball was, and they look down, and they say, hey, it's gone. The swamp monster got it. And that night at dinner, the kids would say to their parents, the swamp monster got our baseball. And the parents would say, it's just your imagination. So, kids said, swamp monster. Parents said, imagination. So, very carefully, so as not to get those brand new sneakers dirty. You know the ones. Bright orange and green and hot pink glowed in the dark with super cantilevered, elevated, double-cushioned, hyperventilated soles, 17 racing stripes running back and forth sidewise slantwise, made them look like they're going 89 miles an hour without moving, 54-inch shoelaces and straps of Velcro. And they walked down that path very carefully, and their sneakers were pristine, which means very clean. And they got to where that flower was, and Joey said, I'll pick it. And he leaned over to pull that flower up at its base. And Chloe said, wait. Joey said, what? She said, look. Joey looked down the path a little deeper into the swamp, and there was another flower, but this one was more beautiful and stranger and bizarre than that one. And Chloe said, let's get that one. It's just a little bit farther. It's nicer. And they went to get that one, but there was another one, more beautiful than that. And then there was another, and another, and another, each more beautiful and stranger than the last, until they were deep in the swamp, deeper than they'd ever been before. And they came to the most bizarre flower they'd ever seen, strangely misshapen and colored, a color that no one had a name for. And Joey said, this is it, let's get it. And he knelt down to pull it. And just as he went to pull it, he heard somebody say, boogity, boogity, boogity. And he said, did you say something? Chloe said, no. He said, oh, I thought someone said boogity, boogity, boogie. It wasn't me. And he went to pull it again. Boogity, boogity, boogity. He looked up at Chloe, and Chloe said, And they both turned and looked, and standing over them was a swamp monster. Boogity, boogity, boogity. And Joey and Chloe looked up and they went, ah! And they turned and they ran. They ran through the swamp, getting out of there. Unfortunately, right behind them, they heard the swamp monster galumphing through the swamp. Boogity, 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 boogity. They ran faster. The swamp monster seemed to be gaining on them. They could smell its swampy breath coming closer and closer. Boogity, 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 boogity. He's getting closer and closer, running through the swamp. Joey said he's going to catch us. Chloe said, this way. I think it's a shortcut. They left the path. Bad idea, but it's in the story. They ran through this very stimulus part of the swamp. The swamp monster going boogity, boogity, boogity. They ran through a very subibulant part of the swamp. Boogity, boogity, boogity. They ran to the most barsnickers part of the swamp, and their feet were moving slower and slower, until their feet got stuck. Boogity, 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 boogity. Joey said, I'm stuck. What am I going to do? What are we going to do? Chloe said, there's only one thing we can do. What? She said, do what I do. What? She knelt down and she undid the straps of Velcro and untied the 54-inch shoelaces. She said, do that. And Joey did it. They pulled their stocking feet out of the brand new $36,000 worth of sneakers their mother had just bought them only an hour or so before. And they waded through that barsnickers part of the swamp. And they found the path. And they ran down the path into the backyard, up the steps to the porch, into the backyard. They slammed the door behind them. They ran upstairs. They took off those disgusting, swamp-soaked socks. And they cleaned them out in the sink. They went into their bedrooms. They hung them out the window. And they pushed the window down on them so they could drip and dry. And just then, they heard their mother call. Are you with me? Dinner time, you guys, come on down. Wash your hands and come on down. So they washed their hands. And they went down. They sat at the dinner table. And so did their mom. And so did their dad, who finally shows up in the story at this point. And as they sat down, their father said, well, I heard we did some shopping today. Let's see what we've got. And then he did what they hoped he wasn't going to do. He looked under the table and he said, you guys, where are your sneakers? They said, oh, no, we'll get them later. And they said, go put them on. He said, I want to see what we maxed the credit card out on. And they said, no, Dad, it's a bad idea. And that's what Joe said, bad idea. And Chloe said, yeah, Dad, we'd probably spill food on them or something. And he said, no, go upstairs and get the sneakers on. And Joey said, yeah, but if we go upstairs, we can't do it. And he said, why not? And Chloe said, well, because they're not upstairs. At which point, their mother entered the conversation and said, Joey and Chloe, where are your sneakers? And they said the only thing you can say when you don't want to answer but you don't want to lie. What? Where are your sneakers? Oh, our sneakers. Where are they? Oh, don't worry. We know where they are. Where are they? Don't worry. Everything. Where are they? Don't worry. It's just like they're in the swamp. What? Yeah. They're in the swamp? Yes. What are they doing in the swamp? I don't know. I mean, we do know. I mean, we left them there. Why did you leave them in the swamp? We didn't mean to, but we had to. Okay, here's what happened. Here's what happened. They said, so here's what happened. They both told the story at the same time. They said, so we were playing in the backyard. We put them on because you said we could, and we promised you wouldn't whine. And we have not whined, if you notice, at all. We have not whined at all. And then we saw this flower. And it was a little bit in the swamp, and we told you not to go in the swamp, and we weren't going to because you told us not to. And we always do what you tell us to do or not to do, according to which was which. But we didn't. Except then we did, but just a little bit. And we went to get that flower because it was really beautiful, and so are you. And we wanted to give it to you. And we went to get that one. But then there was another one that was even better than that one, and so were you. So we went to get that one, and then another one, and another one. It got way deep in the swamp. Oh, man, we saw this flower. It was so beautiful, and so are you. And we went to pick it for you, and we were about to pick it, but then all of a sudden a swamp monster came along, and it said, boogity, boogity, boogity. It started to chase it. We ran through the swamp, and we got stuck, and it was going to get us alive, and we were stuck, and we didn't know what to do. Our brand new sneakers were stuck, and we remembered you said people are always more important than things, so we left the sneakers there, and we're here. Aren't you glad to see us? And their mother rose from the kitchen table, towering over them, and she said, Joey and Chloe, you get up from this table, you go out the back door, you put on those dirty, holy, stinky sneakers, and you march right back into the swamp. You get those new sneakers. Joey said, yeah, Mom, but problem. And Chloe said, yeah, Mom, swamp monster. And their mother said, who would you rather deal with? The swamp monster or your mother? Joey looked at Chloe. Chloe looked at Joey. They both looked at their dad. He said, tough choice. So Joey and Chloe got up from the table and they went out the back door, the screen door. And they sat on the back steps of the porch and they put those dirty, holy, stinky sneakers on. Joey said, oh, these are horrible. And Chloe says, I think yours are worse than mine. And they headed across the backyard to go to the swamp. Are you with me? What time is it in this story, right? What do you think? It's after dinner, right? What's happening right about now? Yeah, it's getting dark. Good time to go in the swamp? I don't think so. But they had to. They stepped in the swamp, leaving their yard behind. And as soon as they did, they began to hear those sounds. Joey said, what's that? Chloe said, it's just your imagination. Went deeper and deeper into the swamp until they came to that bar Snickers part of the swamp. They came to the place where they left their brand new sneakers and they looked out and there they were, gone. Joey said, what are we gonna do? Chloe said, who do you want to deal with? The swamp monsters or Mom? Joey said, you're right, let's go. And they headed deeper into the swamp. And as they did, all those sounds completely surrounded them. And they noticed for the first time it was almost like it wasn't just a bunch of separate sounds. It was like this one big living thing, like this swamp, this big living thing, and then up ahead, deep in the swamp, they saw a glow. Joey said, I wonder if it's our sneakers. Chloe said, I don't think they glow that much. But as they walked towards that glow, the pulsing, the sounds got louder and louder until they came to the source of the glow. They stopped and looked out into a clearing deep in the heart of the swamp. The horror. And they couldn't believe what they saw. There, in that clearing, they saw a huge circle of swaying, dancing swamp monsters, trudging around in a great circle dance. And as they danced in that circle, they were juggling and tossing lost things over their shoulders to the swamp monster behind them. Things had been lost and forgotten and neglected. All lost baseballs, but not just that. Old bicycle frames and car tires, refrigerator doors, things people have said aren't worth anything. But the swamp monsters had picked them up and were juggling them and using them, dancing. And in the middle of the circle, swaying in time to the music, was the biggest swamp monster of all. Dancing and swaying, conducting the dance. The great swamp monster, and hanging from a hole in each of his ears were Chloe's sneakers, her brand new ones, and hanging from a a hole in his nose. Dangling there, the swamp monster snot dripping down them were Joey's sneakers, and he was waving back and forth, weeding all the swamp monsters as they all danced and sang along with that great swamp monster song. You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out, you put your right foot in, and then you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Boogity boogity wow. Oh, he said, I can't believe it. Joey said, how come you had to hang my sneakers from his nose? He said, Chloe, what are we gonna do? Chloe said, what do you mean, Joey? We've come all this way. You're not gonna turn around now, are you? Joey said, you're right, Chloe. I hate to do it, but we're gonna have to go in there. Let's go. And the swamp monsters dancing and swinging, singing and swinging too. Joey and Chloe stepped into the clearing and they walked through the circle of dancing swamp monsters, dodging old refrigerators and car tires, old stereo cabinets, lost IKEA furniture. And they walked up to the great swamp monster, weaving back and forth. And they said, excuse me. And Chloe said, could you stop for a minute? And the swamp monster looked down and he held up his arms and the music stopped. And he looked down at them and said, boogity, boogity, boogity. And all the swamp monsters slid closer on their sucker-like toes. And Joey said, yeah, we wanted to talk to you about something. Chloe said, yeah, we've got something. You got something of ours. Boogity, boogity, boogity. And all the other swamp monsters said, boogity, boogity, boogie. And slid even closer. And Joey said, yeah, it's those things on your ears and your nose are sneakers. Chloe said, yeah, we need them back. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Boogity, boogity, boogie. Closer. Joey said, yeah, because there are new sneakers and we got to get the other ones back. I mean, we need them back. So, because Mom, and Chloe said, yeah, like Mom, you know, mad Mom. Huh? Can we please have them back? Boogity, boogity. And the swamp monsters slid closer and leaned over. They were hanging over, dangling their long, fetid, fibrous, filabrated fingers over Joey and Chloe. Joey said, Chloe, yeah, this isn't working. I know. I got an idea. What? Just do what I do. What are you going to do? Just do what I do. Watch me. And very slowly, very carefully, so as not to disturb the swamp monsters who are breathing their hot, sour, putrid swamp breath upon them. She knelt down and she untied the lace on one of those dirty, holy, stinky sneakers. She pulled it off her stocking foot. She held it up to the great swamp monster and said, want to trade? And he reached out with his two long fingers, because that was all he had. And he took the sneaker. And then he put his long, swampy nose deep in the sneaker. Whoa! Whoa! Boogity, boogity, boogity! And he passed it to another swamp monster who sniffed it. Whoa! Boogity, boogity, boogie! And all the way around the circle. And Chloe said, here, you can have the other one. Whoa! And that one went around this way. Whoa! They were passing on boogity. And Joey said, yeah, you can have mine too. Here. They're better or worse or something. Whoa! Whoa! And all the sneakers went all the way around the circle. And the swamp monsters going boogity, 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 boogity. Until they came back to the great swamp monster. And then he clutched them to his breast. Boogity. Joey said, okay, yeah. Now it's a trade. Chloe said, yeah, you give us the other ones. What's up, Baba? Yeah, trade. What do you mean? No, it's a trade. No, it's a trade. Like, we give you something, you give something back. Chloe said, come on, you have to be fair. Come on, be fair. A deal's a deal. Be fair. Come on. He reached up. He untied one sneaker. He handed it to Joey. The other one too. Chloe said, mine too. And he handed them back. And he picked up those dirty, stinky sneakers. And he held them up in the air. And he said, boogity, boogity, boogity! And the other swamp monster said, boogity, boogity, boogity! Joey said, yeah, boogity, boogity, thanks. Chloe said, yeah, thanks. And then Joey and Chloe, very carefully, very quietly, because they knew they were in somebody else's home and had to treat it carefully, they stepped out of the circle and walked across the clearing. And as they walked away from the clearing, the music seemed to start up again. As soon as they got a little bit away, they were holding on to those new sneakers. They didn't put them on. They were in their bare feet, but they started to run. They were running through the swamp. The music, the sound of the swamp filled the air, and Joey said, listen to them singing. And Chloe said, these sound like they're happier than they were before. They ran and ran and ran until they could see the lights of their house. They ran into the backyard and up the steps, the porch, into the house. They came in the door, punched at it. Mom, we're back. And she turned on. They said, look, here they are. And she said, oh, you guys, they're all dirty. Oh, it's okay. I was worried about you. I shouldn't have sent you out there. Leave them back there and we'll clean them tomorrow. Now you go upstairs and take a bath. You smell like the swamp. Get ready for bed. And they did. They went upstairs. They took a bath. They put on their pajamas. They brushed their teeth. They went to their bedrooms. It was a hot night, so they lifted up the window. Socks fell. Remember the socks? And they climbed into their beds. And they lay there in their beds. And as they did, sure enough, they heard the sound of the swamp. Coming across their yard. This big living thing. Into their room, swirling around. And they sat up in their beds. They said, Mom, Dad, listen, it's a swamp monster. It's a swamp monster, you can hear him. And their parents called up, it's just your imagination. And Joey and Chloe looked at each other and they said, yeah, right. You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out. You put your right foot in, and then you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. What a dumb story. I hope you like that. I haven't told that story for a long time. Man. I left out a part. Left out the part where the mom tries to get the dad to go out and look for the swamp monster. And he won't. He says, she says, I'm worried about them. Will you go out? He goes, oh no, I'm sure they're fine. You know, there's so many parts of that story. I learned a lot when I made that story up. I borrowed some things from there's a folk tale, or it's maybe a faux folk tale that I'll tell someday that a lot of storytellers call the Gunny Wolf. And it's about a girl. And mom says, don't leave the yard. And she sees a flower. She goes to get that one. Then she goes to get another one and goes to get another one. She's deep in the woods and she meets the Gunny Wolf. And so I was thinking of that story when I did it. And I told that story for a long time. Sometimes I feel like in order for a story to work, you have to tell it about 50 times before it really works. And I remember one day I was telling it, and the swamp monster had never spoken. And then the swamp monster started to speak, and I thought, this is so much fun. So, let's see. Good things. I had this great thing here. Somebody said, in, if you're, we're in the middle of this. We have to find good things, and we really have to look for them. We have to look for them, because one of the things is when you start thinking about the bad things, then you kind of get in this little weird circle. You start spinning around, Like you got to limit your media diet. Otherwise, you'll be crazy. And you have to start finding those other things. And I have a great thing here. This is from Jack, age 11. He writes, I'm learning to cook more. Some of the things I learned to cook are scrambled eggs and toast. That's very good. Mashed potatoes. That's very good. And today we are making chocolate chip banana cookies. He says, I really enjoy your live storytellings. I look forward to them every week. Thank you for making us laugh during this crazy time. And they sent a picture of Jack. And this is Jack and the banana chocolate chip cookies. Okay? There's only 2 of them. I have a feeling, Jack, you made more than 2, which means somebody has eaten them. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It seems so interesting that Debbie got the recipe. This is a banana chocolate chip cookie, and I want to tell you, this might be the best cookie I've ever had. So thank you, Jack, and thank you, Debbie, too. My favorite ice cream in the whole world is Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey. It's banana ice cream with chocolate chips in it. This is like Chunky Monkey. It's so good. Oh my gosh. This is the best cookie in the whole world. Okay, now, I'm going to do one more song. What song am I going to do? Let's do... Okay, so I got a new song I'm going to sing for you next... on Thursday. That is just I'm just putting out, and I'll talk about that more. I'm looking forward to singing that song for you. I really do mean what I say about us trying to find the positive things, and I think we're, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I was hoping we were going to kind of be over on the other side of this, but we're not, and it's more up to us than ever to take care of each other, and that means being careful. About washing our hands and wearing masks and being careful how we interact with people. It's kind of up to us now to do that. And we need to find a way to touch base with each other. So I'm going to finish up with the song that I learned when I first started to sing songs for kids. My wife Debbie, who at the time was my girlfriend, she had an album that she had grown up listening to by a group called The Babysitters. And The Babysitters was, oh my gosh, the guy from The Weavers. I'm blanking on his name. It was Alan Arkin, and it's the guy from The Weavers, and I don't mean Pete, the other one. Anyway, we'll think of it. Anyway, it's a collection of folk songs for kids. And I'll think while I'm singing the song. And this is a great zipper song, and you're not here to make the zipper, so I'll just have to do things, okay? I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry the wind on my back. When it blows, I'll blow too. That's not very hard to do. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry the wind on my back. Lee Hayes. Okay, Lee. I'm sorry, Lee. Met Lee. I should have remembered him, okay? Okay, I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry a tree on my back. Here we go. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry a tree on my back. When it grows, I'll grow too. That's not very hard to do. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry a tree on my back. And then I usually start to say, okay, what bit can you think of that you could carry on your back? And some kid will say, I can carry an elephant on my back. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry an elephant on my back. When it blows water, I'll blow water too. That's not very hard to do. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry an elephant on my back. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry, some kid said, I can carry my dad on my back. He said, I said, what does your dad do? He said, he looks at his phone. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry my dad on my back. When he looks at his phone, I'll look at his phone too. That's not very hard to do. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry my dad on my back. People are saying things to say? Okay, give me one.
Dinosaur.
A dinosaur. You know, what is it with you people? It's like you just go right for the dinosaur, right? That's the first thing. You gotta go right to, okay. I'll do my dinosaur call, okay? My voice is tired from the swamp monsters, but I'll try to do the dinosaur. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry a dinosaur on my back. When it roars, everybody roar. Boogity, boogity, boogity. I'll roar too, that's not very hard to do. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry a dinosaur on my back. We got one more?
Pig.
A pig? Okay, when it oinks, okay? I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry a pig on my back. When it oinks, I'll oink too. You may now oink, I will let you oink, okay? That's not very hard to do. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry a pig on my back. Let's finish up with the world, okay? I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry the world on my back. When it spins, I'll spin too. I'm not going to spin here, but you guys can spin at home. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry the world on my back. When it spins, I'll spin too. That's not, I guess I can, that's not very hard to do. I'm not small, I'm so tall, I can carry the world on my back. Thanks a lot, you guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. If you want to throw a buck in the tip jar, you can go to the webpage there and do that. And we've got some, I'm looking forward to doing Thursday. I got a bunch of stuff for you then. Until then, be kind to each other. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.